Good
The
morning.
video still
How you doing,
processing.
man?
What's up? What's up? Good morning. Headline hustle, man. Monday. It's Monday. Shoot. How's everything going with you? How was your weekend?
It was great, man. Didn't do too much. Just spent a lot of time with the wife and kids, like normal. Did some work.
Oh shoot.
Work never
I hear
stops.
that. Same,
But
same, same with me, man. This new economy is going crazy, so we gotta get it. I actually played with a little bit of AI stuff, man. Just based off the conversation we had yesterday and just curiosity. I feel like people always complain about what AI is doing, but if you can get a hold of it, understand it, implement it into your workflow, you won't get left behind. So it's always one of the biggest things. Try to be in the forefront of it. And then when it comes to like video production and everything, it's like it's moving at a rate so fast that the average editor isn't going to be a thing. So it's more of an idea generation, and understanding prompts is what people really need to focus on to make yourself valuable. So I've been dealing with a lot of AI generating videos all last week and this weekend. So it's dope, man.
oh yeah, that's dope, man. I like to hear it because AI is something that we are going to have to use in the workforce now, and it does streamline a lot of things. And you could train your own AI to be you, right? I don't know if that's good or bad, but I think it's helpful when you don't have an idea or you want to spitball ideas off of something. You can put it in AI to get spit it out, um, and then you can follow the flow. Now the human interaction part is the thing that it won't be able to adjust to. So people that have jobs that require emotions and coaching the emotional side psychologically. I don't think AI will be able to do anything like that, but it's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to have. It helps with business. It helps with business owners. The only thing is it is going to eliminate some jobs, but like you said, you got to train and you got to get adjusted to using it, and then you will have a job. So I like it too as well.
I think AI is going to eliminate more jobs than it's going to save, man. Eliminate way more jobs than it's going to create by far. You know what I mean? It's just up to you if you're going to get left behind or not. Like the mundane jobs or the entry level jobs, most of the time AI is going to get rid of that. I mean, that's how the world has always been, though. Anything that can be simplified to simple movements or simple mathematics or equations, computers have always been the first ones people go to. Jobs are trying to save money. They don't really care about humanity. It's going to be a money saving race or a money making race too at the same time.
Yeah. And like how many speaking of jobs being eliminated over time with all the things that have advanced, how many jobs do you think like the railway or like I say the internet? How many jobs do you think the internet eliminated? Because now that the internet is the way it is now, like newspapers, people that worked at people that companies that develop newspapers, I don't think that they're doing that anymore, right? You don't need
Yeah.
newspapers because you have access to the data, the media immediately. Um, but that's what the thing is with innovation. It's supposed to make lives easier, but making lives easier makes someone else's life harder because the things that they were skilled at, they have to acquire a new skill. But that's just a part of life and advancement. You always need to be pushing forward and trying to acquire new skills to better your life. That's why I said I'm a sole believer in discipline and learning and operating at your full potential. And you can't get stagnant or you will be left behind and you will struggle. So I would rather struggle learning something new rather than struggle being complacent.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Action is always the cure to procrastination and the cure to poverty. You just really getting out there and figuring it out on your own. A lot of times, a lot of things will be stacked against you, but the best thing you can do is just keep working, keep grinding towards it, man. And I really feel like, just like you said with the internet, they still make physical copies of everything, magazines and newspapers, phone books and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure, it's just in the 5-6 percentile of the money, the profit that they were making when pre-internet, pre online or Google. So I mean, I think the same thing's going to happen with most of these with AI models. I don't know what's the first thing that would go extinct, but I know a lot of like simple edits as far as content creators from this field. I know a lot of that stuff is out of there, man. you're not getting the best quality anything right now. Just have you seen AI pictures, how their fingers are always kind of messed up. So they still trying to figure that out. And with AI video creation, it's still a subtle process of things not looking absolutely like 100% natural. But it's amazing how far they've come in between now and 3 years ago. And that's what people not understand, how fast this thing is moving, the evolution of it. So you're looking at 2025, they saying that's when jobs are gonna start being displaced like crazy. So hey, I don't know to the solution though, because I don't know what's going to create jobs. Like the jobs for AIs are normally that's not an entry level job, so it's gonna be a weird space, man.
Well, that's why I say you have to go ahead now and get into it. If you do want a job and you're not a business owner to hire people, you need to go ahead and get into it, because the time that you're learning, that is your entry level. You can put that on your resume saying I did this for this company, even if it was like your first role working for free. You could put that stuff down on your resume, and then you could build up those years of using AI in whatever capacity you're using it in, and now you can go into it with those years and apply for jobs and let them know exactly what you're doing. But if you wait until they start eliminating jobs, like day one of like, okay, these jobs, this whole department has been laid off. Now you're trying to play catch up, and now you're either going to have to pay for a very expensive degree, because it's not a degree like in AI right now because it's so new. But it is certifications you could get, and maybe that won't go away, but the school is trying to innovate as well and advance their curriculums in colleges, so it will be harder for you to get into those programs that will be paying those higher paying jobs. It's always better to plan ahead and then be proactive rather than reactive when it comes to anything that you see coming. But what that requires is research and being in the moment, like the times that we're giving people on this morning show, is letting them know what's up to date, letting them know about, funny things that's going on, but as well being informative to the world and letting them know, like, you need to hurry up and get in because you don't want to be left behind.
Oh yeah, man. I still think it's going to be an overlap to some degree. You know what I mean? You got at the rate AI is moving, and you taking this advanced course, unless it's like a 6-month course, bro, you might be, hopefully the perfect best case scenario is right when you complete that course, is right when you can the job market opens up, but the longer you wait, the less chance that has of happening, man. This thing is getting insane. I'm excited about it though, man. I'm seeing that a lot of things that you can create with the video, wasn't possible years ago. And even if it was possible, this is a $1 million budget. Like, you want to have somebody jumping out of a parachute onto a skyscraper. Now with AI, you can create these amazing scenes that look extremely realistic, but at a fraction of the budget. But it's not free, so we still dealing with that. So hey, I guess a little bit of money, $100 or $200 ain't nothing compared to the millions and regulations you would have to get if you actually trying to do it. So I'm excited about it, man, to say the least. And like you said, even if you can't afford a course or afford to educate yourself, at least purchase the app or ChatGPT or something like that. Just try to familiarize yourself a little bit. Just play with it a little bit and see how you could try to incorporate it within your workflow that you already have, even if it's just a schedule. Try something.
And fear comes in when something new is coming into any organization or any ways of living. Like what I coach on and why I became a Scrum Master is because that aspect of the job it can't be replaced. Like coaching frameworks and implementing those frameworks with teams, and maybe that's AI generated teams. But that's why I wanted to launch my course and launch my value into the world to help those people, should I say, not them, but those people that are looking to change their career so they can keep up with the times. And my course is it's 4 weeks of learning, and then it's 4 weeks of real projects, and then it's 4 weeks of more projects, but you're being evaluated that last month. And then you could potentially work for HSI, Holiday Systems Inc., and make part-time money, and then get those skills that you are lacking, and still we're trying to push you to other companies so you can have a higher paying salary, so you can live the way that you want to live, and you can afford the things that are raised because of inflation. Scrum Masters and product owners, they make around 80 to, I think I just saw it went up to $270,000, depending on what environment you're working in. If you have a secret clearance or a top secret clearance in the government, you'll make even more. If you're a veteran, you can get your secret. You probably already have your secret clearance, so you can still do that. And that's what I'm trying to help as many people as possible with, giving them the skills that maybe you're not technical. Maybe you don't want to learn how to use the chat GPT or AI, or you're not trying to be an engineer, but the world is moving towards big technology. Technology is going to be running the world soon. So you got to get in where you fit in.
I don't see a world where, even if you were to teach somebody Scrum and they go into your course and they graduate, still don't see a world where they're not going to have some familiarity with AI models and how they perform. I don't see a world where that's going to collide with what you're doing at some point. Like it's inevitable. I mean,
well,
it's helping you.
You gotta know what Scrum and Agile is, though. Agile is a form of thinking, right? So it does collide with our world right now, but we use it. We're not the technical people that are developing code or anything like that.
Yeah.
Agile and Scrum is just a framework of working. So there's no way that AI can prompt a framework, because it's a thinking model. Like, it could tell you what to do, but as far as the teams that you are coaching, they are going to be using that coaching framework, and you have to continuously tell them this is the best practices, right? And you got to motivate them. You got to make sure that they're being the best that they can be, so the product that you're delivering is at the highest quality. So we're not going to be using AI as much, but we could be using it as much. But if we're using it, that means we don't need developers, right? So that's why I say you need to be at the forefront of this is project management, executive business development. It's all at the tops of all levels, scaled agile. So that's why I say, like, it will collide, but it won't be like our jobs are going away, because we always are going to have that human interaction, either with business owners, executives, or on the team level.
Why do you think that?
Why do
you think that the human interaction is something that won't go away? Because
if a business owner owns a company, right? I'm talking about this from the things that I teach. If the business owner owns a company and they want to develop something inside of their company, I have to give them the framework and tell them, because they might have 2 or 3 people using AI, but I will guide those 2 or 3 people on how to, instead of a project being 6 months using AI, it may go into 1 week. You get what I'm saying? Because you still have to stick to the framework, and I still have to have conversations, because I'm like a therapist at times, like with the developers that I'm talking to. So whoever's using it, I'll tell them stay motivated, because everything will catch up and be a burnout. So if you get in now with coaching, you could be ahead of that curve, and you will have access to all of the materials and tools that AI is producing, but you don't have to particularly use it to develop. And it might require us to take an AI training so we could develop. But if we're developing, then developers are gone. If we're doing everything for the business, every developer will be gone then. They won't need the developers anymore.
So you don't think you can type in what you're trying to accomplish with AI and it gives you the framework that you provide? Like, you don't think that's possible?
So when people think of frameworks, they think of, oh, you got to stick to X, Y, and Z. Times have moved from, that's called a waterfall approach, X, Y, and Z, because you can type in something and give you what you need to do, but the way that we teach that you need to do it it's always changing because you may start working on a project that you want an outcome in 6 months, but we're constantly adjusting and pivoting because of things like AI. And we got to say, okay, well, this is what's happening. These are the statistics off of a trend or how the world is moving. Let's go back and fix some of the things that we already have in. I could type it in and then I could give it back to the people that's working. But this is you got to really understand Agile. That's why people need to take the course to answer all those questions that you're asking.
Oh, I hear that. Yeah, no, that would be a main question that somebody would ask, just trying to find the difference between, something that AI could just spit out and give you A to Z on how to accomplish something. And Agile is almost like a living, breathing thing that has to keep making adjustments and throughout the entire process.
Yeah.
So that's dope. Because I immediately, when it comes to something like AI, that's normally what people use it for. So you saying with your you on a personal level, you don't use it at all in your process of your business at all?
Oh yeah, I use it just like what you said. I'll put it in to see what I need to do. Then I go find the people that need to do it, and then I coach them on a framework on how to get it done by accepting change, accepting the unknowns, and adjusting to that. So that's what Agile is. It's just a mindset. You're just coaching the mind. So you can't coach or put a prompt in to say like, oh, because all AI is doing is pull it from data, to be completely honest. So if there's no data points, it's unknown. But we're working in the unknown to innovate and push high quality products by staying ahead of the times and the trends that are in the economy, in the government, and whatever the case may be that you're trying to push a service or product into the world. So that's why I say Agile is something that will remain, because even though AI came in, people probably thought that. And now I'm seeing the roles of Agile coach, Scrum Masters. They're getting more money with AI advancing. They're offering more money to Scrum Masters and Agile coaches because they see the importance of it now. You can't just say, AI, go do this, when it's doing it and it's set to do that. And now something changes and it's set and it's still doing the same thing that you told it to do. That's not how it
so
works.
in order for it to work, it would have to be a model that's trained to assess changes, and which is possible, but I think we're far away from
data.
something
Yeah,
like that.
you need to predict the future, and you don't know the future until it happens. And that's what Agile does. It's not predicting the future, but you're adjusting quick to that because you're like, okay, we're moving this way. Yeah, somebody has to catch that.
But it's possible, but I think we're very far off from having something that adjusts its data in real time. I think ChatGPT is basically, I think it's capped at 2021, 2022. I think the model that it is right now, as far as data that it can go into its archives and access. But that's just the one that we have access to as human beings right now. The average human being. I don't know what they're working on as far as, up there in NASA or whatever.
Well, how do you think AI was developed?
How?
Yeah.
I mean, AI is it's a supercomputer that I think it just accesses.
I'm talking about the development stages, not like what it is, but how that came to be.
I don't know. I mean, I guess somebody just created a program.
Okay. So this is why I'm going to peel back the layers on Agile and how AI is developed, right? So Agile helped develop AI. So this is what goes into, okay, this is working, it's not working. Let's keep doing it. Let's make it work. Let's get feedback. Let's get data. That's all Agile is that loophole. So they keep using Agile in developing and advancing AI. So why would that go away when they use that and they keep using it to keep making AI better?
AI is going to get to a point where it doesn't need human interaction to develop itself. It's basically call it a sentient being, where it's going to be something that has access. Once AI has access to all the information, it'll be able to develop itself in real time. Like, this is something that is possible. I can send you the daggone. They even have a computer. They have something that they're working on that's possibly can do it. But I'll send you whatever it's called. I can't remember. It's a certain chip that Microsoft has. But I mean, it's going to be a time where it doesn't need us to develop it at all. But I'm saying we're far off from that. Like that's the fear of AI. You know, they're intentionally trying to make these things 100 times smarter than human beings for whatever reason. But I don't agree with it. But that's their goal. I don't see how something could be beneficial to us if it knows everything about us and can move 1,000 times faster than us. Like I don't see how that benefits the human race. It can benefit a very small number of people, which the elitists are looking forward, I guess, to something that can do something like that. I think agile is amazing, but I do feel like agile is going to become something that you guys are going to either incorporate AI models to not have to work as hard or on so many different projects, or you're going to be able to incorporate it to a level where you don't have to physically interact with people as much. Like you can make AI a duplicate of yourself, knowing everything you know about agile, and it'll be able to assess things in real time. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, like I think we're on two different wavelengths during it. Like because we do use AI, but
Yeah,
it's the aspect of what to do next, right? And for AI to be like to say, well, I don't need humans at all. I can adjust on my own. It's like a godlike being. And I know this. I don't want to
that's
get
what I'm saying. That's what
but,
that's what is going to be created, though, bro.
so
That's what,
this is what I'm saying. A godlike being is saying it can predict the future. It knows what's coming. It knows what's about to happen. If AI and all of these systems are driven off of data, it's no way that anything or anybody but God can predict the future. You can only go off of the data that you have. Like there's no way that can happen. Is I know what's going to happen tomorrow at this time on this day because I said it was going to happen. God is the only one that can do that.
the only thing, like the closest way you can get to predicting the future is going off past patterns that people
Data.
have done in the past in data. The AI can access 100 times more data than a human can in less time. So it's actually better at predicting the future than a human would be. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like it's always AI as moving that can access way more data than a human can and move at a faster rate. You know, I feel like you're going to make Scrum more effective being able to put your data points into that AI model and have a more accurate prediction, because you're not just predicting what happened with your company, you're predicting what happened with every company in history with under that umbrella of whatever the business is that they're doing. And I don't think that's not possible for a human to do.
Yeah, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying like it's always going to be a data driven. Like it's been a data driven world since
for sure.
technology. For sure. And all I'm saying is like because I could use this as an example. And this is a bad like example, but I want to really get out there. So when the Twin Towers hit, right, AI couldn't save anybody, right? Because they didn't know it was going to happen on that day. It's always things that change immediately and you got to adjust to it. You could do all the patterns, you could get all the data, and you could say this is the trend, but as soon as something else hit, boom, things change. You got to adjust to that change really quick. And I'm not saying that AI wouldn't be able to do that, but if you continuously change, there's no data that is consistent enough for you to even pull from.
I'm in devil's advocate. You know, a human has a less chance of stopping 9/11 than AI would have. If AI is plugged into our entire flight patterns of every airport in the world, it would have been triggered by a flight pattern going off course immediately. Like it's possible. Like,
well, who said that the flight pattern? Like, you have to really know like what happened during 9/11, because who said the flight pattern was off? Because planes go by like it could have just dropped, but how would that, like if it just dropped immediately during that or started going down, what is it going to tell everybody to clear the building? Yeah, I get that, but the building is so high, it's not going to clear every person all out of the building, and then it has to alert. The only way that would have been been able to be averted using AI was if they knew right when that person took over the plane, and it was hours, because you got to think how many people were in the Twin Towers.
I mean, what was that
Hours
plane headed
before.
to? What was that plane headed to when they averted it to go
That's
to
what
New
I'm
York?
saying. We don't know, because planes go over New
AI
York.
would know
Planes,
though. That's
no, I'm
that's the
saying like
thing.
no, I'm saying like if this is the flight pattern and it was going,
Mhm.
the Twin Towers are here or here, right? It could have been going and then it went down. In that time going down into where it's going, it could tell like, well, it may hit this building, but you got to be able to clear the building. And the only way that the building will be able to be cleared, and I only know this because of me being in Afghanistan, you got to be able to get that out, get it to everybody in the building, everybody get out. The only way that that would have been able to happen is if AI was just in the building. Nobody else was in the building. Nobody
I mean,
at
AI,
all.
everybody wouldn't have been able to get evacuated in a building that big, but
Yeah, it would have limited the
a good
casualties.
number of people would have been able to get evacuated. Like AI would have been more effective than a human being because AI can, based off wind patterns, could tell when the direction of a plane was going. They might not have been to know exactly where it was headed, but they would have knew it was off course. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, the
No, that's
computers
what
are just,
I'm agreeing with it. I'm just saying like
yeah. Oh no, it
that's the
definitely
only
wouldn't
way
have
it would
saved
have.
everybody. I mean, that's impossible, but it would have been more effective than what would have happened. What happened had it have been tracking every flight in the United States at that time. And who knows? You know, I wouldn't doubt if AI models are tracking flights at this point. You know, a lot of things they don't tell us about, or scanning. You know, facial recognition and all this stuff. You know, all that's a real thing. You know, people don't talk about it, but AI is way more ingrained in our lives on a black state, on a deep state level than we know.
Yeah, I know some things I can't talk about, but it's like it's the world. That's why I say you got to get in now to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
able to get ahead of everything that's coming, and so you can set yourself up. And nobody's gonna save you once it hits, and that's all it is. You know, are you waiting for it? Like everyone's complaining about AI, but now when it hits and now your job is being taken away, you didn't ever attempt to learn how to use it or to get in a career where it hasn't touched it or it hasn't affected it yet, then that who fault is that?
I don't think a career exists that it hasn't affected it. I think if you think it hasn't affected you just not
No, I'm talking
you
about
just don't
taking
know.
away as an effect. Like your job is gone. Like
Okay,
that's what I'm
okay,
saying, an
okay.
effect, not like affecting it, but because everything is affected by AI because of the way it moves. But if you wait until your job is taken away, that's the effect of AI.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
whose
For
so
sure.
whose fault is that? Is what I'm asking. It's the person's fault by not going with the change in times. You have to change with time, or you'll go extinct. And I'm talking about
That's a
from a
fact.
job perspective.
Shoot, human perspective too, man. Shoot, it's just it's inevitable at this point. So yeah, I'll agree with that 100%. It's got to figure it out. But I'm enjoying it, man. You know, embrace change. Don't run from it, and embrace it. Learn from it. Never too old.
I know, like this is a short segment, but we'll be back tomorrow, and I really want to get into a few things. But you guys tune in tomorrow. We'll have some trending topics, some headline news. We'll talk about AI. We'll talk about technology. We'll talk about different ways to advance your life and adjust to it. But this headline hustle. See you tomorrow.
You know what? Shoot.